Right, so question 10, 2016 on paper 1 was a functions question. The graph of the function y is equal to f of x is shown on the coordinate diagram below. For -3 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 3. X is an element of R. The graph is made up of 2 line segments, so that means just 2 parts of line. So instead of that one continuing on forever, it's another line segment or part of a line. That's what a long segment is. So fill in the table below to show the value of f of x and the value of f of x minus 2 for each of the given values of x. Okay, so let's fill in f of x first. So when x is minus 3, what is f of x? And always know in functions that f of x is y. Okay, we call this the y axis, but it's also the f of x axis. So you might see on some graphs that that's called the f of x axis. F of x is y. Okay, why am I telling you that? Because this could also say y equals in the table. So when x is equal to minus 3, this is my x-axis, so when x is minus 3, what's y? Well, it's here. Okay, so I'm dotting across to here, and you can see that when x is minus 3, f of x is minus 2. Okay, now when x is minus 2, this is the line here. The line goes through here, so y is 0. I don't actually move up or down there, so y is 0. When x is minus 1, well, I find my function, which is up this time. What value of y is that? That's y equals to plus 2. When x is 0, y is 4. When x is 1, let's go up to our function, y is 2. When x is 2, f of x is 0. And of course, when x is 3, come down to your function and go across, f of x is minus 2. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. The next one says then f of x take away 2. So if we go minus 2 and we take away 2 more, you'll end up over at minus 4. 0 minus 2 is minus 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. So what am I doing in all of these? Let me show you what I'm doing for this one, okay? It says f of x minus 2. So at this point, f of x is 4. So I'm putting in 4 for the minus x and I'm taking away 2. And that's how I'm getting 2 for this one. Okay, for this one, f of x here would be 2. So 2 minus 2 is 0. For this one, f of x would be 0. So 0 minus 2 is minus 2. And this one, minus 2 would be minus 4. Okay, so that's where I got that f of x minus 2 from. Okay, so fill in the tables below. So that's perfect, that's done. And then it says, hence or otherwise draw the graph of y is equal to f of x minus 2 on the coordinate diagram above, okay? Or to the left for our case. So we have to draw this graph, okay? So our couples are minus 3, minus 4. For this one, it's minus 2, minus 2. For this one, it's minus 1, 0. 0, 2. 1, 0. 2 minus 2. And the last one, 3 minus 4. So they are all the couples that I'm going to plot. Okay, so the first one is minus 3 minus 4. Okay, so across to minus 3 down to minus 4. The next one is minus 2 minus 2, so across to minus 2 down to minus 2 here. The next one, minus 1 0 0 2. Anybody see a pattern if I draw that line? Okay, what do we think is going to happen? Is it going to come down here? So is there a gap of minus 2 between these two lines because we took away 2 from f of x? Our next one is 1 0. Our next one is 2 minus 2. And our last one is 3 minus 4. So let's draw these together. Okay, and let's label our graph y is equal to f of x minus 2. Really, really important that you label every graph. Okay, so that was the first few parts of that question. So 10 marks for all of that. Part B. The graph of a different function y is equal to hx is shown on the coordinate diagram below. The line is again made up of two line segments. There's one, there's the other. Fill in the table below to show the value of h of x for each of the given value of x. So same thing again, when x is minus 3, what is hx, which is again y. So across to minus 3 on my x-axis and up to the graph, and it's 2. When x is minus 2, let's go up to my graph, and you can see that's when y is 1. When x is minus 1, well, the graph goes through there, so it's 0. When x is 0, come down to your graph, and you can see it's minus 1. When x is 1 again, your y value is 0. When x is 2, go up to your graph and see where it's across, it's 1. And when x is 3, let's go across, we get 2. Okay, so fill in the table below to show the values of h of x. Okay, part 2 then in that question. Hence or otherwise, draw the graph of y is equal to h of x all to be squared on the coordinate diagram above for the same range. So h of x squared. So what I would do here is I would draw on another row to this box called h of x squared. Okay, didn't really leave myself enough room there now, so I might give myself a little bit more room. So h of x squared. Okay. Okay, so if this is h of x, then what's h of x squared? So 2 squared, 2 by 2 is 4. 1 squared, 1 by 1 is 1. 0 squared, 0. Minus 1 squared, be careful because minus minus becomes a plus, that's 1. 0 squared is 0. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. So I basically just looked at this row of numbers and squared them to give me this row of numbers here. Okay, you just have to be careful. No matter what number you square, plus or minus, you'll always get a positive answer, because minus by minus is a plus if it's a negative number, or if that, of course, is a positive number, plus by plus is a plus. So squaring any number gives you a positive number. And then we graph it. So minus 3, 4. So my couple's in this one. So I'm going to write these sidewards. So minus 3, 4. And minus 2, 1. So you can see I'm ignoring the orangey yellowy line in the middle. I'm ignoring that one. And I'm just reading my x values and my y values. So minus 3, 4, minus 2, 1, minus 1, 0 here, 0, 1 here, 1, 0 here, 2, 1 here, and 3, 4 here. Do you have to write out the couples? No, you do not. You can plot them directly from here if you're comfortable enough to do it. Okay, so minus 3, 4 is my first one. So minus 3 up to 4. Minus 2 up to 1. Minus 1, 0. 0, 1. 1, 0. 2, 1. And 3, 4. Okay, so you end up with a strange looking graph. That looks a bit like him. Okay, and it's because when it's a squared graph, you'll never get any of the graph down in this region, okay? Because you'll never get answers, y values that are negative, because when you square everything, it's a positive. Okay, so my last job is just to call that graph by its name, h of x squared. Okay, now there was just 5 marks for part B of that question. So the majority of the marks were for part A.